Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So I actually had a video planned to talk about D.Va today. She was a hero that in Season 5, a lot of people were asking me what kind of hero that I was looking to learn to play a little bit more and to learn a bit about, and D.Va struck me as a really interesting choice alongside playing a little bit more Winston. There's a lot of interesting stuff going around D.Va. She's had a pretty interesting history, so to speak, and the video was meant to talk about how the pros are using her, how to play her effectively, and a little bit of her history as well. But when those changes on the PTR went out, more notably the changes to the Mccree, Reaper and Roadhog, D.Va went from a, yeah, she's a good hero, she's doing alright, worth picking up, to a hero that you really should consider playing at this point, I believe, if these changes go through. But let's start with a little history lesson. We've gone over this in the past so many times I don't want to stress over it too much. Just after BlizzCon, D.Va got a significant buff, 400 armor, 200 health, and became basically an incredibly strong Winston. That went on for a few months, the triple tank meta was ripe, and 3 days within 2017, she basically got her armor and health swapped around. She had 400 health then and 200 armor, and she completely dropped from a must pick in the pro scene to being not used at all. Now since then she's had a couple of touch-ups, including her damage I believe, as well as some fix to her defense matrix, meaning that she would take in projectiles that were shot at her very close range. But over the last couple of weeks we've seen D.Va's popularity rise quite a bit. If you look at websites like Winston's Lab, which looks at the pro meta and what heroes are doing well, you can see the difference between the last patch, which was before the anniversary event, and this one, and compared to other heroes that are quite high up, there's a significant change there. Now let's talk about why that might be before we start talking about the stuff on the PTR. The main reason is that D.Va acts as a mix between dive and anti-dive. The dive aspect of it is pretty straightforward. She's quite mobile, can follow the likes of Winston and Genji and trace it if she needs to dive on a target, and up close can do a pretty decent amount of damage, as well as mitigating some of that damage coming in with her defense matrix. That's pretty obvious, right? But I want to talk about the anti-dive aspect of it, because I feel that's where D.Va shines the most when it comes to other tanks, especially with the changes to Roadhog as well. So we've used the term peeling a couple of times, and it may be a word that you've heard in the Overwatch scene recently, but maybe don't know what it is. Say for example you have a Zenyatta on your team and you're playing against dive. The Winston wants to come in and kill the Zenyatta on your team. So as a Lucio, as a Roadhog, as a Lucio you can boot the enemy Winston away, do a little bit of damage, get in their face, be really annoying. Same as Roadhog, you might be able to hook them, completely close down their shield, and just basically scare the Winston away. You're acting as a bit of a bodyguard for the Zenyatta, and that's what peeling is. It's those heroes that have CC abilities or are just generally a complete nuisance to deal with that are there to get in the face to protect your supports and low health targets. So you're looking at the likes of Mccree as well with his stun, and D.Va with a defense matrix. Now D.Va's really good at this because she's really good at sort of controlling ground, but if say you're playing with an Ana on your team and they need help, you can quickly fly to them, right click all of the damage coming in, or even if you're that close, being able to do a lot of damage, your Ana can throw her grenade at the ground, healing you up and healing anybody nearby, and from there you can sort of protect yourself quite well. This is where I've been playing D.Va a little bit towards the end of Season 4, and I've had really good success with it, and you're sort of seeing it on screen now hopefully as well. Just sitting on the objectives, not doing what you used to do in the triple tank meta where you'd act more like a Winston, jumping ahead, taking ground and fighting people one-on-one. You can't really do that as D.Va anymore. Sure, you have the defense matrix mitigation and quite a bit of armor, but if you're left on your own you will lose that mech fairly quickly. So that's where I'm finding pretty good success with D.Va at the moment, and that's gonna be much more apparent if these changes with Reaper go through. Now Roadhog's a bit of an interesting one. Sort of looking at it at first glance I thought it was a little bit of a nerf, but it just feels like a complete rework in a similar way that Lucio was changed. Is he going to be as useful as he was before without that one-shot potential? I don't necessarily think so, but he is still going to be a big problem. The one that's concerned me is the Reaper changes. The fact that he now lifesteals with huge abilities such as Death Blossom and just running into your team of heroes that can't really look after themselves. This is where D.Va's going to be great. Not only is defense matrix a good thing, but she could just get in the face of the tanks and do a fair bit of damage as well. If Reaper Ray forms to get out of there, you can give chase fairly quickly. We also go over Mccree, who's had a buff to his Deadeye, which basically locks on a lot quicker, meaning that much like Tac Visor, you want to be getting in the face of the Mccree and just holding that right click and making sure that none of the shots go through. So you've got these 3 major changes to these heroes, and all of them in a sense make D.Va much more stronger. She's already incredibly popular. She's already popular in the likes of gold, silver and below. She's a really popular hero to pick up, but now that the pros are using her, that's going to trickle down to the top 500 because most of them are pros, and then from top 500 to GM to Masters, so on and so forth. So I do think we are going to see an inflation in D.Va, and I think for Season 5, if these changes go through, she's going to be an incredibly good pick. But that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what you think of D.Va in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree with what I have to say, and also let us know what you think of the changes as well. We'll play them a little bit more, get to grips with what we think may happen, and then do a what's the matter when these changes come out. But until next time, take care. We'll see you then.